Now we're live. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. So, be sure to say hi. Now we're live. Be sure we all say hi to Becca. It's her birthday. She's here with me in the chat, but she's hiding on the other computer. Becca. Hey, Gardner Josh. If you want to come up, the link is in the link, or I can post it here for you.
The link is in the link?
It's a Courtney thing.
Ah.
It's a Courtney thing. I got that from Courtney. I love her. All right, there it is. But I have a few canning questions from our group I've copied down. So if it gets boring and nobody talks to me, I can do canning questions from the Facebook group. Number one, can food be recanned if the lid doesn't seal? And yes, it can. If it's within the first 24 hours, you are good to go and just recan it. That's why you always check at the 24-hour mark if your food is sealed. So another one that's been a big topic in the Facebook group is if jars are frozen during storage, are they safe to eat? Yes, unless the seal is broken. And you also need to be aware of rust, because if they've gotten frozen, they've obviously gotten wet and damp, and you're going to want to wipe them all down to help prevent rust so that the seal stays good longer. Another canning question I've gotten from group recently. Do I really need to leave headspace? Why do I have to leave so much headspace? And the headspace is important for the vacuum sealing. So you want to leave the headspace so that you can properly vacuum seal the jars so that you get a good seal. So that is why. Plus, you don't want your food running out and getting out. I have a real bad problem with things like apple pie filling wants to bubble over. And so you want to leave extra headspace for things like that so that it doesn't bubble over. Oh, my granny's garden. Hi, first timer. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming. I just met you, I think, in Black's Family Homesteads Live. So thank you for coming over. I really appreciate it. It was a good time over there on their live. If anybody hasn't, you need to join that channel. They had a really interesting live. I was in there for quite a while this morning listening to them talk, and very knowledgeable. Hi, Shift Kicker. Thank you for coming in. So got a lot of people coming in now. It's Becca's birthday, so we're all saying happy birthday to Becca. It's her birthday. So just a second here. Sorry, a non-canning question, but it was a cooking question, is how do I make a pound of butter into sticks? And 2 sticks of butter is half a pound of butter. Somebody's baking a cake for somebody's birthday.
They already baked them. It's cupcakes.
It's cupcakes? Oh.
Chocolate funfetti.
Ooh. Ooh, that sounds really good.
And then he's like, what kind of frosting should I make? I'm like, homemade peanut butter buttercream.
But I can't have it if it's homemade peanut butter buttercream.
I didn't even think about that. Shit.
Oh, well. I have my frosting in the fridge. I'll just use my frosting. I'll wipe yours off and give it to the girls and use my frosting.
Anyway, so he's looking for butter.
Looking for butter. Thank you, Josh, for dropping the link. Thank you.
Oh, were we supposed to?
Yes.
Oops.
You can drop links. Please drop links for everybody that's in here that has a channel, and for anybody we mentioned. That's great. And I did not mean to. Did you put that up or did I?
Who?
Oh, there it is. There.
You did.
There we go. So another on the list. I'm going through my list of frequently asked questions I found in the group and going through them and asking them, unless somebody has something in the chat they want to ask. And then I'll answer your questions from the chat. Should giblets be canned in the jar with your chicken or liver with your meat. The question is maybe. If you really want to save jar space, you can go ahead and can it. There's no reason why you can't can them together, but they will taint your meat with flavor. They will change the flavor of the meat. So I prefer to can them separate. So that's a personal preference. It's up to you, but they will flavor the meat a little bit. One we get a lot in the Facebook group is it safe to can meats without salt? And yes, you can can. Becca, you're so funny.
I try.
I know. You can without salt. It is only for flavor in meats. It's not there. Like in pickles, it's a preservative. So you don't want to change it in like your pickle recipes. But when you're canning for meat, it is for flavor only. And I actually do half the salt because I don't like as much salt. I use sea salt. I don't need as much to get the same flavor. How long will canned food keep? Properly canned food stored in a cool, dry place will keep a very, very long time. The lid manufacturer is only going to guarantee you 18 months. That's what they had to put on there. I keep things much longer than that. I have some things that I've kept for 7 years that taste just like the day I put them in the jar. Do they lose nutrition over time a little bit? Yes, they do. Does certain water-soluble vitamins break down? Yes, they do. But I start with the freshest, most nutritious foods I can find and the highest quality that I can afford. And I feel like it's worth it to me. And I'm going to use everything that I can of. But you do need to be aware if you have somewhere that's very damp, those lids are going to rust fairly quick, even quicker now than they did in the olden days. So be aware of that. Another question we had, can I double stack in my canner? And if there's enough room in your canner to double stack, yes, you most certainly can double stack. You should put another rack in there if you have it. If you don't, put a towel in there, something to keep them from rattling against each other and breaking. But yes, you can definitely, and that's water bath or PC. Another question. They're just going through these pretty quick. I thought I caught enough, but I don't know. Do I need to vent my PC? Yes. Yes, you need to vent your pressure canner. The 10 minutes is there. It helps the canner get up to temperature. So you want it up to temperature as well as up. Oh, Josh, I didn't see you down there in the basement. There he is.
Hi, it was dark down there.
Hey, at least there's lots of food in my basement.
Right? I'm full.
But yes, you need to vent your canner for 10 minutes. It helps it get up to temperature as well as up to pressure. So that is really important because you want the right temperature when you're canning, especially pressure canning. How you doing today, Josh? Nope.
I'm fine. I'm doing perfectly good.
Perfectly good.
A little tired.
I don't know why I watched half the replay this morning, a couple hours after it was posted. You guys were up late again.
Well, I wasn't done when it went off. I went into Discord till over past 3 a.m. So
that's about the time I was getting up.
Right. I had a nice nap before I come to work.
I say we didn't put them to bed until almost 11.
No, the girls didn't wake up this morning at all.
Because we didn't put them to bed until like 11 p.m.
Well, that worked for me. I got to sleep in. I don't know about you.
Oh, not really, but it's okay.
Lots of people in the chat are still saying happy birthday to you, Becca.
I saw that. I've said
happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, I didn't want to go full out. I think they frown on singing that song.
Maybe.
Probably.
You should have the goose sing it.
I don't know. I'm mad at him.
Yeah, they're not doing well right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. The goose gave back the ring Josh gave him.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know. They're not doing well.
And then my best friend come over and he started loving up on my best friend. So I don't really know what's going on with him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want a soulmate that wants to love on your best friend too. That's not good.
Yep. We're definitely not soulmates, but I will figure he will taste better under gravy now, so it's not a big deal.
They usually do.
Little poultry seasoning and yeah.
Oops.
Right?
Have to be careful. I have a lot of vegan fans. Have to be careful. I actually love my guard geese that I had before. I miss them.
You're gonna have to watch that video I sent you.
Okay.
Yeah, I like them. I mean, I was supposed to get rid of several of those, but I can't.
Yeah.
I like them. They all walk around. They're all buddies. So,
I get too attached, and then they're all pets. But I got my guard geese to be pets. So.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I planned on selling them. I didn't really ever plan on harvesting any of them. So.
Yeah. That makes sense. I've gotten all my guard geese free, though. I answer ads that say, please take this terrorizing animal off of our farm. And then I go and get them and bring them back to my farm, and I love on them.
Right.
Like, why do you like mean geese? I'm like, because I don't like trespassers. And people who aren't afraid of dogs are afraid of guard geese. Like, people will trespass if you have a really vicious dog in your yard. They will not trespass if you have a flock of geese. They just won't do it. They know that.
Well, I mean, a guard dog, you just throw a stake down there. If he's not trained properly, it's over. You can just walk right by him. But a goose, you can't. You can throw whatever you want on the ground. They're going to be making noise.
They don't care if you are coming with food or not. They are there. Nope. The alarm system. Hi, at the Hoodstead. Thank you for coming over. Thank you.
Yeah, before I come up, I did share you out, though, so on the community tab.
Oh, thank you, Josh. I'm just really working hard to get my hours. I don't have I've got a big Facebook group, but they don't cross over to YouTube much at all. And even though I put the word out in there, they don't seem to, it's hard to get people to change from their favorite platform. So
yeah, I see that, but I mean, if you had an immediate question, this to support that Facebook group is perfect. I mean, why not just come over and ask the question?
And that's why I did the YouTube channel, is I was answering the same questions over and over again. And I'm like, what? And I'm a hands-on visual learner. So I'm like, I'll just do a video and then people can see what I'm saying better than what I'm saying it over and over again. I can just, here's the link, go look. I did it. I showed you step by step. So
I think a lot of the problem is the crossover. Like, you have one platform you stick to usually. So either you really love YouTube, or you really love Facebook, or you really love TikTok, or whatever. It doesn't, like, a lot of people do not cross their platforms.
Yeah. Don't cross the streams.
Right. Like, I spend a lot of time on Facebook and not a lot of time on YouTube. Like, I'll look stuff up on YouTube, but I don't watch stuff on YouTube. If I'm going to watch something, I'll go to Facebook or TikTok.
Yeah, the Hoodstead, we've been doing the YouTube since 2019, but I really got serious about it last year. So, and I keep posting in group, like I post an announcement every time I go live, or every time I do a new one. I do it in the regular Rebel Canners, in the vegan and vegetarian Rebel Canners, and we have a big MeWe group now. And I just added 39 more people to our MeWe, and I post over there, but I don't see, YouTube is telling me that nobody's coming over.
But the next thing also is that, I think a lot of our Facebook group are older people. And so they view YouTube as what it used to be and not what it has become. Facebook has grown and grown and grown, and they've grown used to that because they've used it, where YouTube has kind of been in the background growing as, it started out as just videos. Like, you could comment on it, mostly music from what I remember. And then it's kind of grown, and it's grown into what it is now. I gotta go help some kids in the kitchen.
They're baking her a cake, well, cupcakes, and they're trying to do the frosting. So
yeah. Can I color?
Yeah. So
That's the funnest part.
Woodstead is right. She's saying the demographics. Sorry, I can't say that word. Demographics are so different for each platform. Yes. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I like them for what they are. I mean, I love Facebook because I can talk to people so far away on the Messenger app and all that. But
I love Messenger. Absolutely love Messenger.
Yeah.
I'd be lost. That's my main form of communication. It's replaced the telephone for me. It really has.
Oh yeah. Oh, by far.
Yeah. So, and I'm having a hard time. I'm trying to do the MeWe, but I'm having a really hard time because it's so different. It's alike on the computer, but it's so different on my phone to try to cross over and do it and see what's going on and be attentive to it. It's really hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
I think we all get stuck in our same rut, and we like what we are used to.
Well, yeah. I mean, I see that. That's why last night I decided to be so much different. You probably noticed that. Don't watch the rest of the stream. You'll be fine.
I only watched it. I had to go eat breakfast. So.
Well, then you probably seen enough of me last night. Sorry about that.
I'm a daylight person. I'm on a different time zone than all of you guys. Faith Kavlek says, have a broccoli cheese soup. Milk, cheese, cornstarch, makes about 6 quarts. Any way to can it? That's a tough one. Broccoli does not can well at all. It really, anything in the cabbage family gets really strongly flavored under canning. And broccoli gets very mushy, which in soup is not so bad. The cheese you can can, and the milk you don't can as long as what you would can for the soup. So I would really, and you could substitute clear gel 1-to-1 for your cornstarch. I know people that have done it and liked it, but they're very few and far between compared to people who like broccoli cheese soup. So, I mean, you can experiment with it and do it for the soup time. The milk tends to curdle. It doesn't do well. It doesn't do well. Sorry. I'm not a fan of the cabbage vegetables canned. They get really... Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Most people would try to come up with some way to do it right. If you've done it and it doesn't work and you don't like it, you got to be honest. It's like, look, can some other soup.
Well, you can can the different parts, put them together, and have the soup in 10 minutes. So, I mean, if I were going to do anything, I would can the cheese, I would can the milk, and freeze the broccoli, and then I would throw it all together. And the time it takes the broccoli to cook, and you would have to heat all that soup up anyway. In 10 minutes of cooking, you would have your soup. So you're not really saving time either. But if you want to can leftovers, no, it just won't work. Hi.
Yeah, just freeze it.
Thank you. And we were just talking, Life with Belinda and Chuck. We are just talking about you earlier.
Do they have like an actual?
Yes, they do. They have a link.
Okay.
Yep.
Well. Oh, I guess so.
Yep. Post their channel too. So. Hoodstead, unfortunately, I'm one of the older people now. I have rolled over. I'm older than the speed limit. That's bad.
You must live in a school zone then, Tammy. What are you talking about?
Oh, Josh, you're so sweet. Thank you. No, I hit 55 today, double nickel. This January. So I have kids older than the speed limit in the school zone.
Well, you're just entering the canning world of age. You're fine. You've got 20 more years left. 30, 40.
When I started canning at 18, people thought I was crazy.
I know, that's the problem. We got to get out of that mindset, man. Teach them young.
Well, you should see the videos of her little girl canning.
Oh, yeah.
She loves to help us. But, Josh, I'm going to live to be 100 because I started some some century garlic. It's a ferment that you do of garlic. It's a Chinese garlic ferment. And you have to wait 50 years before you can taste it. And I started that when I was 50. I can't open it for another 50 years. So I got to be around to taste it.
Well, there you go. Oh, yeah, there you go. You'll be around for
my
at
kids
least
are going to
till
look at that black jar on the top of the shelf that says do not open until and go, oh no. What is that my mother made? But it's supposed to be really good, but you're not supposed to eat it for 50 years. So
You'll have to check out her shorts. She's got a short of my little girl drinking the cranberry juice.
Yeah. We had 2,200 views before noon today on that short.
That's nice.
Doesn't count for time.
They don't?
The shorts don't, unless not from not if they watch it from the short shelf. I don't seem to get any time, but it does mess with their algorithm when they're subtracting. They subtracted another 2 hours from me last night.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's what they need to be doing.
Yeah, I went live again yesterday and the day before, and for an hour, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I get time subtracted. It doesn't make sense. Lewis said, "Now I want garlic. I always want garlic." Hello, Trouble, and how are you doing, Tammy? I think he's talking. Is he talking about you, Becca?
Probably.
Oh, you calling Becca Trouble? That's Bruce.
You know, It's funny. Most of my life, Brat or Trouble.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't talking about me. I'm a well-behaved young man.
Yeah, huh?
Urban Garden Girl, they took 10 subs from you last night. They've been doing some sort of purge. I hate that when they do that. I hate that. I've been lucky. I am only 9 subs away from 4,500. So I was doing good with subs. Did we drop Urban Garden Girl's link?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Make
did.
sure we do it for. Yeah, everybody go over and show her some love. Because that's just not fun when they do that. She had to take 10 away. Well, I'm glad you're here to go hunting, Bruce. Somebody has to be the guard at the door. Thank you. Oh, it says 4.5. Maybe they gave me some more. Let me look. That's weird. It does not show that on my dashboard. Let me look over here.
Hey, Josh, I dropped you a link in the comments.
He can't see you with the remote. Well, I guess he can. I just can't see. There's my analytics. It's slow. Okay. Oh, it says I have 4,504. Woo! Hey!
Woo! Woo! You made it! Yeah, me and Bruce are definitely avid rabbit hunters for sure.
Yes. Well, you can still, Faith, you can still freeze the soup. It'll still be really good if you freeze it. Yes, if you go over to sub on somebody's channel, be sure to ring the bell, watch a video all the way through, and make a comment on one. So please do that. And we want viewers, not subs. We want people who are really interested in what's going on with these channels, watching these channels on a regular basis. But woohoo, that's exciting.
I'll be right back.
All right. That's new since this morning, because I looked at it this morning and I am just like, wow. Becca's over here watching her video.
I am.
She hasn't seen it yet. Oh. There is Black's Tropical Homestead. We were talking about you earlier. We were watching your live. Fatman Prepper, thank you for coming in. Your live this morning was really, really interesting at Black's Tropical Homestead. I learned a lot. I'm going to have to try rutabagas now. I may have to plant them.
Ew.
No, they
That
were
was
how to cook them really good.
that was cute, Becca. I just went and watched that video. That was cute.
That's my little monster.
I wish I knew how to share. I'd share it. Yep, that's true. That's right. You need real viewers. It's okay, Faith. We love that you're asking questions. I wrote down a bunch of questions, but I'd much rather answer questions from the chat. And, you know, I'm just going to tell you how I would do it or what I feel about it. You know, it's your kitchen, your rules. So, you know, you could always do a trial, but I wouldn't do a lot of it because I don't want you to waste it. You know, right now with the price of food, you don't want to waste anything. Everything needs to be used up and taken care of. And then there's our friends in third world countries that, you know, to be respectful of them, we need to not waste stuff here. That's all I'm going to say on that. I do have some more questions. Speaking of writing down some questions, I flipped over to this side of the page. It says, my jars lost liquid. Are they safe? Lost liquid in jars doesn't cause it to spoil, but it will make the food above the water line darken. If you're having a lot of problems with that, you're going to want to go get your canner gauge tested because you may have a problem with your gauge or your burner may be going out. Oh, Urban Garden Girl, are you doing a video on your tempache? And I hope I'm saying that right. I tried it to do that and it molded. So I want to try it again. But I need to see. So I'm a hands-on visual learner. I need to see somebody do it. So, hi Audrey. Thank you for coming over. Thank you so much. Black's Tropical Homestead put me over the 4,500 mark because I'm sure that everybody, I don't remember how many I said I was away this morning.
I don't remember
either. Oh, I was 9 away. I was 9 away this morning and now I am 5 over. So it'll probably stick. Hey, Guardian Prepping. Thank you so much for coming in. Tempache is an alcohol from Mexico that is made by fermenting your pineapple rinds. So all the parts of the pineapple, except the green leafy top, you put in water and ferment. You can make vinegar too with them, but the step before vinegar is tempache. And you can, oh good, she is making a video, so we'll have to go over and watch her video. But you can, everything you cut off from the pineapple and the core, if you don't use the core, you can use that to make pineapple flavored liqueur, and it's from Mexico.
Hey, Guardian. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate it.
I should drink it.
Yes, by the time it's ready, you'll be able to drink it. But we have those, 4 or 5 pineapples out there on the counter we got to do. That's one of the things we have to do this week is canned pineapple. We have 5 pineapples. It is pineapple buying season. They're getting cheap here right now. I want to see if I can get a top to grow, but I think those are past their prime for regrowing.
For what?
The pineapple tops for regrowing.
Oh yeah, they're gone.
They're past their prime. Yeah. Urban Garden Girl says fermented pineapple juice at the Hoodstead. You get 3 days, you get juice. A week, you get liqueur. 2 weeks, you get vinegar. So you won't be able to drink it by then.
No,
sorry. Becca's pregnant. She's due in June.
I can
liquor.
I can taste it.
Liquor from it.
Dip my finger in it and lick it. That's what I did last time. Something.
I've never had it, but I wanted to make it because I didn't want to waste the outsides of the pineapple. I've made vinegar with them, but I never stopped at that step.
Bartender that does TikToks and stuff, and when she tastes her drink, she takes a straw and takes a taste of it and spits it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you don't want to get
you
inebriated when you're
right.
All right. Thanks, Faith. Stop in anytime if you have questions or ask them in the Facebook group. But
Hey, Tammy, I got to jump down and get back to work.
Okay.
But, thanks for having me up on my lunch break. It was great.
Thank you. Bye, Josh.
Bye. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and paste the link. There's the link. If anybody else wants to jump up, please feel free. Oh, thank you, Audrey Willis. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, all of you, for subscribing and coming in. I'm working really hard to get my time in, so I'm going to do several lives over the next few weeks and see if that helps me, because my time seems to go backwards. I've done 3 lives in the last 4 days, and they've all but one day they've taken time away from me. And I had no videos the year before to come off. So it makes no sense. But it's YouTube. I guess they don't have to make sense.
The shelf looks like it's a mess behind you, but it's really not.
It's all organized.
It's
mess.
all nicely organized,
It is.
actually.
I'm coming to you live from the craft room. So these are all projects in making, or the ingredients for projects for crafting. So I have some more questions.
Sure.
Ooh, oh, thank you. The favorite part. Oh, I can't try it though. You'll have to come here. Come up here. Oh. All right, you try it for me because it's got peanut butter in it, and Nana's allergic to peanut butter. All right, tell them how the frosting came out. Hi. Is it good?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
All right, down you go. Yeah, thank you, but I can't eat peanut butter. That would not be good. We would be done. I'd be in the hospital. Oh. All right, go. Yes, lots of helpers.
Oh, you got some too?
Yeah.
So good.
All right, Jackie, out.
Goodbye.
That means you. That's the door. There you go.
Can I call later?
Yes, goodbye.
Oh, you guys are cute. Yeah, shut the door.
Maybe.
Oh, they have to push the limits. If you say yes to coloring, then they've got to paint.
Yep. Well, I told them I found some.
I don't know if you can't see it, but down here is their table with all their color crayons and markers, so they can come craft with us too. Ooh,
This was last night's artwork.
so much fun.
It is.
They have a lot of fun with it.
Budding YouTube
Yes.
stars.
Yes, they are. They're learning. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for being here. Next question, I copied off the Facebook group so I could ask them today for us. Why do I get dark spots under the lids? And there's a couple of reasons for it. It could be acid. Your foods could be acidic, and it could be the acid in the foods, or your salt might have minerals in it that's staining the lid. It is harmless, so you don't have to worry about that if you see the black spots. A lot of people think that's mold, and it's not. Mold is fuzzy, just so you know. Yeah, my littles are all adults now too. That's the bonus of having adult children, is you get grandchildren. Grandchildren make the world go round. Why do jars break in the canner? That one is a tough one. So tough. You could have a hairline crack. That's why it's really important to check your jars before you fill them with food. A lot of times if you don't use a rack under your jars, they will, they will crack. You put hot food into really cold jars, they'll crack. Any sudden changes in temperature. So when you're turning your canner on and getting it going, you don't want to just turn it to high. You want to slowly raise that temperature. I know it's hard to wait and be patient, but oh, that was you. I thought it was Sawyer for a minute leaning in. Hard to be patient, but you really want to increase the temperature slowly when you're canning. What is Bruce saying up there? Give Tammy an easy question. Continuous or intermittent for field sutures? It depends on what area of the body you're suturing. But if you're doing it in the field, you're probably going to be quick and do quick continuous. You don't want to make it pretty, and you want it to hold together. But if it's something that's really gaping, you're going to do intermittent because you want to leave a little space in there till they get back to the field hospital and do it right. There. Should the cans be difficult to open? I canned strawberry jam and they popped open easy. The seals were intact. As long as your seals are intact and you hear a pop or a release when you open them, then they're safe. And jam's really not going to tend to go bad. If you will know if jam goes bad. If the seal is not good, you will get fuzz on the top. And don't skim that off. If you get a bad jar, throw it out. If in doubt, throw it out. But yeah, it depends on the different lids and the way they're manufactured. Some really cling on there tight and some kind of scare me. But right now in the day and age of use what lids you can get, you just have to use what you can get. Go back to another question here from the list. How can I remove scale or hard water film from jars? What you can do is you can soak them in a vinegar solution. It's about 1 cup of vinegar to a gallon of water. So that's the best way to get scale, that white lime scale. If you have hard water, it's the best way to get that off the jars. I hear people complaining about how hard it is for them to open their jars. I'm a bit of an Amazon though. I'm a big, strong girl. Yeah, and like I have a really hard time with my fingers. I have a lot of arthritis in my fingers now. So I did a video where I use a spoon. And if you can just pull them off, that's great because that way it comes off evenly and you can, if you're a rebel like me, reuse that lid. Or I use a little bit of a spoon or the ring to pry the lid off so that I'm not bending the metal on the edge so I can reuse them because as a rebel, I reuse them. Oh, hey! Not bending. You got company. Metal on the edge. I see Chuck. As a rebel,
Hey, Tammy.
Oh, hey! I hear an echo there. Company.
Hold on just a second. Let me get rid of some.
I see Chuck.
I'm gonna get rid of some stuff here.
Okay. I got you muted for a minute.
Am I better now?
Yes, you're really good. Thanks for coming up.
I had some other stuff going on in the background. I had to delete off there. I don't want to stay long. I just wanted to meet you face to face. You have quickly become one of my favorites as far as on YouTube to watch. I love the can, and I love your attitude toward it. And I do got a question.
Okay.
And you may have already answered it. I'm a little slow, sometimes hard of hearing. But garlic. Do you ever can the garlic? Okay.
Oh yeah, all the time. And
I'm sorry.
It will change color.
Okay. How long does it last generally? And do you can it like in oil or you just can it in cloves or?
I've done 3 ways. Okay. A lot of times when I'm canning meat, I will just put a whole clove in the jar, a quart jar.
Okay.
But I have pickled garlic, which keeps a very long time. And then when I use it, I just use it like regular garlic because the pickle, you don't really get the pickle taste from 1 clove if you're throwing it in food. And then I also have canned garlic just in water and salt and pressure canned it.
And you pressure can it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have videos on that? I hadn't gone back and looked.
I don't think I do yet. I don't think I do. I do have fermentation with garlic.
Okay.
Where I've fermented it in salt water, and I have a video where my favorite way to preserve garlic, if even if I could can it, my favorite way is to put it straight in honey. So I peel
Okay.
it, and then I just put it in honey, and I forget it. And I can just keep adding to that jar. When you bring that out, it takes the bite off the honey. It makes the honey or the garlic
Right.
doesn't have the bite to it. So you can almost eat it raw. I mean, well, you can eat it raw right out of the honey. After a couple of months, it is so good.
And you just leave that on the countertop, or
I have it going all the time. Now you will get a few batches of garlic that'll really bubble, so you want to make sure you have a something underneath it and the lid on loose.
right. Okay.
But yeah, when I get garlic and I can't use it all up, I just throw it in my honey pot. So I just have a running garlic and honey thing going. And then 8 cloves of garlic, my finger's up here, 8 cloves of garlic is supposedly equal to 1 dose of prescription antibiotics. This is only something I've been told. I do not know the validity, nor am I trying to be a doctor.
Right.
But for health purposes, I'd rather have the garlic and honey than eat a raw honey clove. So if
Well,
I'm gonna
I've seen the. I remember watching the old Alabama gardener, and I want to say he used to just dip that just right out of the honey, the garlic, and just dip it right out of the honey and eat it. And
yes.
and I've always
yeah.
been curious about that. I think I want to try it, and I just haven't. I guess I just
and of course, there's always a risk with honey and with garlic of botulism, but that is really, really rare. So personally, I don't worry about that.
right.
And I have eaten it for several years that way and have had no problems personally. Now, if you're in a soil or an area where that's more common, if you think it might be more common, then you would want to cook the garlic before you ate it. But I
Okay.
eat it raw.
Just eat it. Does it soften up? I guess in the.
It does slightly, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've been wanting to try that. I guess I just hadn't. We got so much going on all the time, and
It makes a fabulous marinade on chicken.
I bet it does. I
So
bet
you
that'd be really good.
mince it up and chop the garlic. I put the garlic in just peeled. So I individual cloves peeled garlic in the honey.
Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to come up here and say hi, and I hadn't.
Thank you so much.
Hadn't met you face to face just yet, other than watching you on your videos and on your lives and stuff like that. But I have certainly enjoyed watching, and also the Facebook page.
Thank you.
That's you, right? That
Yes.
started that. Okay.
With the black, I started the whole Rebel Canners movement. There's about 7 or 8 copycats, so make sure you get the one with a black banner.
No, I got you. I found it off of maybe a live that you was on, or
Okay.
maybe one that you was doing yourself. Anyway, somebody posted it on the chat, so I was able to get right to it, which was very helpful because I'm kind of slow-witted when it comes to.
I find it's easier to find things if there was a link too.
Yeah.
It helps.
Well, look, I hope you have a good day, and
Thank you. You
enjoyed
too.
meeting you.
Thank you
and-
for coming up. I really appreciate it so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Hi, Bountiful Harvest Abby. Thank you for coming in. I'm going to go back up and answer a question up here. On the garlic, I mince it up before I put it on the chicken, but I just take the whole the cloves, each clove, and I peel all the paper, separate them, peel all the paper and put them in. I just don't like
if you microwave it for 15 seconds, it makes them easy to peel.
easier to peel.
That's a Sarah tip
Ah,
on TikTok.
okay. I can't use StreamYard to do Facebook Lives yet. I've got to pay for the pro version of StreamYard. I have it set up in StreamYard with all my different platforms, but I can't do it yet myself. Excuse me. I can't do it yet myself. It's on my list. As soon as I have a little spare cash, I plan on paying I think it's $25 to upgrade my StreamYard. I've really just started doing lives recently. I've mostly just did videos or been on every Friday at noon. You can catch me on Wide Family Farm. We go live together Friday at noon, and we do a blue ribbon canning program where we talk about canning, and sometimes I talk her through canning things live. She's done a few live canning things. She's a little more tech savvy, so she can set up her 2 cameras and things like that. So it works out really well to do it on her channel. So, yeah. Thank you, teasers, pleasers. Yes, there's a lot of copycats. It's amazing how once it becomes popular, everybody wants to steal your copyrighted name. Amazing. I use fresh local honey. So you can use any type of honey, but the best honey to do is to get something really local to you, fresh from your beekeeper. A lot of honey sold in stores is not really honey. It's Caro syrup that's flavored like honey. So even though it says it's honey, it's not regulated like it should be. So I would try to find something fresh and from a beekeeper. That's where you're going to get the best health benefits too of the honey. So. And then I don't put a lid on it tight. I want the air to get in it, again, to help prevent any foodborne illnesses that could grow in an airtight environment. So it's just to keep anything from falling in. It's not really a seal it out lid. Honey loses all of its benefits when you can it. And so you really don't want to, can you post Wide Family Farms link? It's made with all. Yeah. Can you post Courtney's link so that and it's noon on Fridays, Eastern Standard Time. So we'll get the link posted in here. Now, honey, different kinds of honeys have different flavors. Hi, Gil. My favorite honey is a buckwheat honey, but it's very, very black. So the darker the honey, the deeper and richer the flavor. And then honey powder is very good. I am very close to a person who won the national best honey tasting competition.
Close location wise, not close relationship wise.
We're friends.
Okay, but
anyway, he won recently a national contest for the best tasting honey. He has both clover honey and wildflower honey, and I like to go and my bees don't make honey enough for me to harvest right now, so they keep absconding on me, my hives. So I go over to Chris and I buy a lot of his honey. So you want to maybe sample honeys. I know there's a couple beekeeping channels that do some honey sampler taste tests and show it. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should get some different ones from Chris and I'll do a sample. Because most of the honey you buy in the grocery store is going to be clover, which is great. Hey, Courtney's here. We were just talking about you. We just dropped the link for Fridays. That's okay, Court. I don't care if you can't be up here. Just, take care of everything you need to take care of.
It's my birthday, Courtney.
Yeah, I got
Come
that
on.
So, you're used to getting red clover honey if you buy honey from the store. There are so many different flavors of honey. In the South, there is orange blossom honey. Oh, that is so good. And then, like I said, my favorite is the dark black buckwheat honeys. Those are they're so good. So you have to kind of play around and see what kind of honey you like best.
Okay, bye.
You're live on thing here. You gotta love 14-year-old boys. Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of questions in life right now. a lot of questions in life right now. Oh,
That buttercream's amazing.
Okay. I hope he left one. I should have told him when he came in the 3 times to leave one without frosting.
I don't know if he did or not, but I told him to.
Okay. Do I have any more questions? Oh no, Deborah, her orange groves are being developed into condominiums.
Oh,
Yeah, I used to live in Zephyr Hills, Florida, when I was a child, and it was all orange groves. And I went back a few years ago, and I was like, where are the trees? Where are the trees? Yeah, teasers, pleasers. I have a hard time staying awake to see some of the late night lives too. So if you come on Fridays, it's not quite as funny and fun as the nighttime lives, but the daytime live is a lot of fun. Hi, Frontier Survival. Thanks.
I actually kind of have a funny story about trees. Fruit
Okay.
trees. My mom and dad, growing up, we had this apple tree that sat in the backyard. And it goes over their porch. And my mom hated it. Absolutely hated that apple tree. But she wouldn't cut it down because it was a good shade tree. Well, she complained about that apple tree every year. It's still there. It's huge. Tammy saw it. It's humongous. It's bigger. It's almost as tall as their 2-story house or 2-story house.
Yeah.
So, in honor of my mom, the first year after she passed away, I planted fruit trees. Because, what better way to love your mother than planting the thing that she hated?
I don't think she hated the tree, just how close it is to their porch.
Yes, and the apples and the mess they made and the smell. Like, I get.
Dad did.
Yep. Frosting. My kids are eating frosting. My hair's sticking up.
I'm glad I'm leaving here in a little while. Y'all can be hyper together.
Oh, no.
They don't get too hyper though on sugar,
No.
which is weird. My kids always got super hyper on sugar. Welcome, Arizona Highland Homestead. Thank you for coming in.
It's never been an issue. Like, Jackie can drink. Like, there was one time she got a can of Mountain Dew at like 2 years old, and she's passed out cold within an hour.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. My kids can eat and drink sugar all day long and not have an issue. Not that I let them, but
Yeah.
I don't usually let them have Mountain Dew.
Understand. They don't need the caffeine.
They don't need the caffeine and they don't need the other coffee. Nessie and her coffee have it. Coffee has a lot of caffeine in it. It actually has more than Mountain Dew in it.
Mm-hmm.
And her and her coffee habits. Oh.
Well,
You don't give that baby her coffee. Ooh. She's not a
giving-
baby. She's 3, but we call her a baby.
Her coffee has a little milk in it too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm giving Sawyer. I'd rather give Sawyer the caffeine, a cup of coffee in the morning than his ADHD medicine, and it's working better.
Right.
So I'm really glad we switched. The doctor suggested. I suggested it to the doctor. He said he'd agree to see how it works, and it's actually Sawyer's had less problems in school since he did that. So.
Aw. AZ Highland Homestead. Yeah, we lost mine in 2019, so I've kind of replaced her in some ways, but in others not.
I've
'cause
adopted her.
they're very much polar opposites. But she lives on my mantle, where she didn't want to be. Well, I'm so living up to everything she ever hoped of her life.
I've told her I've got an extra spot next to me. You could bury her.
Yeah.
I got a couple more questions to get through, and we've got a few minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and unless somebody has some in the chat.
Oh, what's the oddest thing you canned?
Ostrich. Considering I live in Michigan, that's not something you would see. We don't see ostriches running around here much, or ostrich farms. And there was a grocery store that is now out of business, and it would anything that didn't sell close to the sell date, it would put in the freezer and then sell it at half off out of the freezer. And so I've canned a lot of ostrich because I used to get it for less than $1 a pound. And it is just like beef in a lot of ways when it's ground. And so we had a lot of a lot of ostrich tacos and a lot of ostrich soup. Don't tell my kids because they probably wouldn't have eaten it. Yeah, ostrich is good. It really is good. We were talking about this in the live last night, and it is really good. Yeah, that's pretty much. They were talking about stuff in the live last night about what they had eaten, and I had eaten everything that they had talked about. My family is very country, and we neighbor across the lake in Wisconsin. Thank you. Yeah, I actually look at the Wisconsin weather so I know what's going to happen in a few hours. We'll go over there and see what's coming to Oconto, and then I know what I'm going to get in a little while. But yeah, I've eaten just about anything you could name. I think there was one thing on the list somebody named yesterday that I hadn't eaten. And I went, I don't think I've had that. My mother set a challenge to my brothers when I was very little that if they could catch it, she would teach them how to clean it and cook it. And she shouldn't have done that because we ate a lot of weird things. Nowadays, I eat a lot more vegetables. Yes, we'll have to meet up. Very much so. I was hoping to do some meetups until the Great Plague hit. I was hoping to do some from the Facebook group. I did all the subgroups for each of the states or close areas so that I could do announcements, and I did a book, and I was going to do a little book tour and sign books and have meetups in different close locations, and then that didn't work out. And I got the second book almost written. I'm actually just putting the photographs in it and getting it set to release as a Amazon ebook instead of a paper copy this time. So I've just got to get the format for the words in there better. They have their own special way they like it formatted. So that's the last holdup, is getting it formatted. All right. So here's another question out of the Facebook group. And it is, which vegetables expand instead of shrink during processing? Corn, peas, lima beans, anything really starchy will expand instead of shrinking. Gil asked a good question. Tonight on his live, what can you powder? Just about everything. Things that are really good in powder are, believe it or not, strawberries, apples, parsley. I eat a lot of parsley. I eat a lot of powdered onions. I do not like kale, but it is incredibly good for you. There's a lot of health benefits. So when I do kale, I powder it and add it just like parsley. In fact, sometimes my parsley shaker has half kale, half parsley in it. Don't tell my kids because they love the parsley and they put it on everything. So I started sneaking the kale in there. You can pretty much powder anything. Teaser Pleasers is right. The number one best tasting thing to add is mushroom powder. If you add mushroom powder to your gravy, it just takes it up just a notch. So, no, the Hoodstead. The one who is a copycat of me, it's Melissa, not spelled that way, and not spelled the traditional way. And that is very much a copycat group. She is in my Facebook group and then pulls over and does a post quite often out of every time she gets back in my Facebook group, she recopies to that other group. But you'll notice mine is the one where there's not a lot of swearing and everybody has to play nice with each other. If you're in a Facebook Rebel Canners group and they're allowing cussing and swearing, you are in the wrong group. Look for the one with the black banner. Can you?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, she's going to post a link to the right one. Yes, you can powder sea vegetables and use it as a salt replacement. A lot of kelp and seaweed is used as a salt replacement in Japanese and Korean foods. But yeah, mushroom powder. I do a lot of dehydrating mushrooms and powdering them, and then I love to add it to gravy. You wouldn't think that it was yes, welcome to the dark side. That is ours. Yes. We have 100-some thousand members right now. I'm not sure how many. 2. So I'd have to say freeze drying is the absolute best way. If you have access to a freeze dryer, Gil, freeze drying would be the absolute best. And the second best is dehydrating. And then I use a coffee grinder to powder my stuff, because a lot of things I'm trying to powder would just tear up or come up flying out of a blender. So I went to a thrift store and got a coffee grinder that looked like it had never been used, washed it up, and that's how I do a lot of my powdered stuff, because some of the things I've powdered have gotten really hard and crunchy, because you want it really, really dry if you're doing a powder. So a lot of my forage mushrooms would tear up a blender in a heartbeat. So I use a coffee mill that would do coffee beans, and that works a lot better. They're not that much though. They're only like between $12 and $15 online on Amazon to buy a brand new one. I just happened to find one at a thrift store for $1.
Puffball mushrooms.
Puffball mushrooms. I have not eaten those yet. I know which ones I can eat. I've identified them. I
have actually
want to. Have you had it? I want to. I have a lot of allergies, so I add one new thing to my diet at a time. And since I've decided I want to eat puffball mushrooms, I haven't found them. I know where there's a place to get them, but I would have to trespass, and they'd probably shoot me on sight because we are no longer dating. so that's the last place I've seen them.
So, funny story about mushrooms. Nicole came up here, which is my sister-in-law from Texas. She didn't realize that mushroom hunting was a thing. Like, she didn't. And my brother would talk about going morel hunting in the spring. She had no idea mushroom hunting was even a thing, like that people did it and that it was whatever. She's from Texas. So they came up in the spring, and she had looked up all these edible mushrooms and stuff and found a huge puffball mushroom. Made Mike pull over on the side of the road to get it. Picked that thing, brought it home, and my aunt fried it up.
Okay. Yep. Oh, yep. Teaser Pleaser's got one at Goodwill for $2. All right, we'll make sure after we're done with the live that we go over and make sure everybody is added to the Facebook group. We have a lot of YouTube admins, so most of us are tied up right now in here. There's just a few. I got to do a introduction to the admins, but I haven't gotten them pinned down to days, so we can do. Becca is an admin in there. I'm an admin. Courtney is an admin for one of the subgroups. So, yeah. What else do I powder that I like? I love my own garlic powder, making my own fresh garlic powder. I love onion powder. I want to make paprika. So, another thing you'd really want to powder is peppers, and a variety of different peppers, Gil, because then you could make your own paprika powder. It's both sweet peppers and hot peppers mixed together in paprika. And Sweeney's Creek Farm just gave me the recipe for paprika powder, and so I'm going to use that. So, just a second. I got to read it for a second. Those boys, they have lots of questions. Yes, 1994 was the best year I've ever had for morel hunting. I got them by the grocery bags full, tons and tons and tons of them. And they came early that year. It was the first week of May, by April 30th through the first week of May. My son was born on April 30th, 1994. And I was out hunting mushrooms when he was 3 days old, and we were walking a couple miles back into our mushroom spot from the road. And nobody could believe that I was out there with him strapped on my little backpack carrier, front carrier, and honey mushrooms. We had so many. There were just so many everywhere.
Store-bought powders.
Yep. Deborah Arlington, I took a class there from a professional from the Mycology Society, and whatever the Greek or whatever name for mushrooms is. I can't think of it. It doesn't say Mushroom Society, but Mycology or Micro something Society. And she showed me the fall mushrooms. I'm familiar with a lot of the spring mushrooms, but did not know any of the fall mushrooms. And being a hands-on visual learner, I went and took a class so that I knew. And in fact, I took the class twice before I started picking anything on my own. And there's some stuff she showed me I'm still not like gonna pick by myself. But I'm growing mushrooms. I love to grow. I have the blue oyster, mycology. Thank you. I have the blue oyster mushrooms. I have some white oyster mushrooms. I have shiitake mushrooms, and I just planted king strabismus, or the big, they're called wine caps. They're supposed to be really big and big red on top, like a burgundy color. I just inoculated all my wood chips with that, and I've been inoculating logs and making shiitake logs, and so I'm really enjoying that. So I have enough just for my own personal use by doing that. And that class, I paid for that class, and that was over $100 to learn how to do the logs. And it is so simple. It is so simple. I should do a video. Yes. And then you can order the spore plugs to do the logs. If you have a hand drill, order the spore plugs, and then have beeswax or cheese wax to put over top of the holes to seal it. Mushroom logs are so easy. That's the only 3 things you need are those 3 things right there. So but Field and Frontier, yes, that is a good catalog. I can't think of the one. There's a one that starts with it's like fungi. And that's where I've ordered a lot of plugs before. And then I found a local guy that makes them, so I've been ordering them from him, which is nice. So, but we have been on here for just a little over an hour, and I have an appointment here in 20 minutes. Yeah, Blue Oyster is a really good one to start with, because you can identify it very easily. So that is a great one to start with. But I have an appointment here in 20 minutes, so I am going to go ahead and get off of here. Thank you. I will look that one up. Oh, sneaking in sweet pepper. That's a good idea too. Yes, I just did fish again yesterday too. So, I'm going to go ahead and get off. I'm going to end the broadcast here. I'm very sorry. Just a quick live today. I'm going to try to go live every day here for at least a few minutes, just to get my watch hours in. I'm working really hard on my watch hours, and it's just, I'm going backwards. The more I do, I lost 2 hours last night. Don't even know why. Yes, Chicken of the Woods is a really good one. Easy to identify too. So we'll have to do something on mushrooms. I have a couple mushroom canning videos too. So I can them a couple different ways. All right, I'm going to go. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Birthday wishes.
Happy birthday, Becca.
Thank you. Bye.